Hello everyone. Welcome to this short video. I thought it's important that I should make this video because many of us are new to this particular platform, and uh, as far as NIO goes, we are planning to conduct the midterm examination. So primarily in a quiz cum subjective mode that we have planned to conduct the midterm examinations, and also you want uh, maximum validation that you can put, maximum restrictions that you can put, so students primarily to restrict students from go for unfair means. So the whole idea is just to give you a brief idea how to score it. Many of you know how to create the quiz and etc. But for online examination, the whole idea that what the mail also have circulated, it should be a mix of MCQs and subjective questions, primarily applied subjective questions. By applied subjectives, we mean that they cannot directly search in the internet and copy pasted kind of stuff. If they when they wish some numericals, they can actually do it in the paper, take a snap and upload it. So actually the whole question paper should be divided into two parts, and students will attempt the question, and also we are planning to randomize the questions. That means maybe there is a pool of 20 to 25 questions in the MCQs. There may be a pool of 5 to 6 10 questions in the subjective. Out of these 25 MCQs, for every students randomly maybe 10 MCQs will come up, and from subjective, depending on the nature of the subjective questions, maybe 5 subjective I have uploaded, one comprise of 5 marks, randomly 2 will come up. So no two students will get the same set of questions. That is the whole idea, right? So basically in the quiz section we have a option we call. So let me go to the quiz section. If I go to the quiz section in my particular account, see now, let me go for a new quiz. I click on, I create the quiz, the new quiz, right? I can give it a name. Let me give it a name as the test quiz. Here I can give students the instructions, that 10 MCQs to be completed, 10 MCQs plus 2 subjective, everything detailed that we get to be completed in, maybe it's your choice, 30 minutes you want to do it, 1 hour you want to do it, depending on the kind of question that you're planning. So once this is done, we can also add that it will go through a plagiarism software, so 90% accuracy is needed just to prohibit them from using. So whatever details instructions you want to give, you can give in this place. Then if we come down, the important part here is once we come down, it's a graded quiz. We can click the shuffle answers, so it will keep on shuffling the answers. Here you can give your time limit, whatever the time limit you know. Now here the important thing that I'll have to deselect, they should not show the answers when they're attempting. So they are not showing the answers, and show one question at a time, right? And lock question after answer. So once they have answered, it will be locked. As simple as that. And here though, of course we'll share it, so we can save it now. After that we can save it. Now let me come to the main part, preparing the questions, right? Okay, now I come to the questions. You see, there is a new question, there is a new question group, and there is a find question. Okay, that part I am leaving. You can find question from commons, you can find question from a question bank if you have. Now if I keep a new group, how I did it, just to show, I keep a new group, right? I give it a name as MCQ maybe, or part 1, and I now here important, how many questions I wish to give to the student. So if I'm planning to give 10 questions each student, I pick 10 questions, and you see 1 point per questions. So I create the group. See, once the group is created, the question group is set to pick more questions than available. That is written because right now there is no questions. But again, I'm having, so now to put questions in this particular group, see here you find a plus sign. This is the MCQ group that has been created. You click on the plus sign, right? Now question 1 comes. This is an MCQ, so you can go on creating MCQs. No, what is ABC? I'm just creating dummy questions. You know what is ABC, right? You come down. You can, if you come down, this we know. We may give the first answer as A, second answer as B, and third answer, and I say this is the correct answer, right? And you update the question. Once you update the question, you see it becomes part of this group. Now again, you create another questions. You give it question number 2, right? And again, you put any questions, A, B, C, D, maybe the questions. This is the multiple choice question you are talking about. Again, you give it in options like A, whatever options you want to give the questions. You choose this one as the correct answer. Whichever is the correct answer, you can click it, it becomes green, so that becomes the correct answer. The auto check will happen. Now you come down, you update the question. Now if you look at it, this is question number 2, question number 2. Like that, you keep adding questions to this. Whole idea is, if I am allowing a students to attempt 10 questions, I should have at least 15 to 20 questions inside. So for each students, randomly 10 questions will come. The more the questions I can put in, better it is. So no two students is getting. So once you will cross 10 questions, this particular warning will go away, because then you have more than 10 questions, right? And for the students, remember, whatever numbers you are giving is 1, 2, that doesn't matter. For the students, it will come as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whatever sequence they choose, whatever random they choose. Now suppose the MCQ part is done. I have uploaded 25 questions, and maybe I have allowed them 10 questions per student. So for every student, any randomly 10 questions will come. Now I want to the subjective part of it. So this is 10 marks. I come to the subjective part. Maybe I write here subjective. This group names will not be visible to the students. Maybe I say I want to give 5 marks questions to each. So I say 2, pick 2, and maybe here points I am giving 5 points, right? Now you create the group. So you have created a second group, right? Now in the second group, now you plus it. The second group, because it's a subjective, so whole idea that has two good options that we have is, now suppose this is your putting question 1 here, and right. So I type if what is COVID-19. It's a kind of subjective type of question. So here I drop down, I'll choose the essay question, right? So when they choose this essay question, because they will type it here, and I update the question, that becomes part of the second group, right? Then again, I create another question. I give it a question number 2. Now here maybe uh, do the calculation in Excel, if I say. So something I have given, they may do the Excel, or they may have to do it in the pen and paper. So whatever if they do it in the pen and paper, they can take a snap and upload it. So for that, we'll have to give them the option file upload question, right? And I update the question, and that way I can create another third questions, maybe question number 3. I again give it in, maybe file upload questions. I put any questions like this. So you can go on adding on, but the students will get to. Now what happens, now you have this pool of questions, right? Here maybe you are having in MCQ part group 1, you are having 20 to 25 questions. In the subjective, maybe you are having 5 to 6 questions. Whole idea is that the whole question paper will comprise of 10 plus 2, that is 12 questions, right? Now if I go to the quizzes, let me go to the quizzes. This will not look good because I've not completed it, right? uh, I think this is the quiz that you're talking about, right? Now if I go for the preview of this one, right, you see here the question number 1 has come, right? Question number 2 has come, question number 3 has come, 4, 5, up to 10 it will show, right? 10 questions it has come, 10 MCQs. After that it will go to the automatically it will, if 11th and 12th it will go to the subjective. There is no 13 question. For the students will see like this. 10 randomly 10, because right now I have given 3, so they have picked, they repeated the questions, because they will have to fulfill 3, so they have randomly repeated the questions. So 3 they made it 10. So if I give 25, also they will make 10. If I give 5, they will make 10. They repeat the questions like that. So here 10 questions will appear because I have restricted the group that it will show 10. So what happens now? And these are the subjective. You see 11, choose a file, so they can do it manually, then upload the file, right? And 12, they can simply write it here and they submit it, job is done, right? Just if I can show one that I have made, right? So this is the midterm one that, right? So if I go to the preview section, okay, so I cancel it. Need not bother about it. I hope this is clear. For doubts, do contact me. So it's a simple thing, right? So that is the what, the unnamed quiz, definitely we'll name it. And another thing that we are planning to do is definitely, if we can really restrict the students, because you see, uh, unnamed quiz who are below 65%, right? So to do that, basically, when you go for the edit, here I can restrict the students, rather than giving to everyone. If I can give to each and every student, right? So that is the part we'll discuss later. For the time being, that is it. Hope you have understood. Thank you very much.